Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Excuse me. Good morning, everybody. Well, let's go to the charts right away. Oh my gosh, what is wrong? There we go. There we go. Okay, so not yesterday, but Friday, we had a good little move up. There was some risk. There's the open, by the way. E-mini fell in the morning, and then in the afternoon, well, not really the afternoon, but later in the day, it fell up. Here you can see it in the Treasuries. Treasuries just kind of faded down the whole day. And now today we're back up where we were. So I'm wondering if maybe that was some position closing, but I don't know. This move down didn't really make sense. I actually, I took some weird trades down in there because I took one trade towards the end of the day, kind of as experimentation that went very, very poorly. A spoof came out and pushed us down. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'm done, whatever. And then as soon as I was like giving up and programming, I see this other move. So I just come over and, doubled down on it and made it all back. But not really trades that should count, I think, because, I used multiple contracts. So anyways, that's kind of where it's at. But this morning they're back up again and everybody's talking about Hong Kong and China this and all this sort of thing. So it might be another one of those weeks. You know what I'm saying? You know what I am saying? Do you know what I am saying? Well, there was a decent amount of orders placed out there at the beginning too, so I think we should watch out for that. You know what? I want to change some of these charts because these ones right here, I really don't need these two. These just haven't been telling me much of anything, so I'm going to get rid of these. Okay. And I made a new thing. We'll see what it does. It's interesting. Okay, well, we're already getting a little bit of stacking and shuffling around of some big orders here, so. I think I want to be going along here, but let's see if they give us a spot. Zero Hedge 7 unanswered questions about Epstein's death that the mainstream media is not talking about. Oh man, I almost forgot about that. Yes, that's right, folks. Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide over the weekend, and it is the biggest happening of all conspiracies everywhere. Like, what is the word? It is like the happening of all conspiracy theories. Jeffrey Epstein died. Can you imagine? And nobody believes that he actually committed suicide. Literally nobody believes that he committed suicide. I try to be like, if I don't actually know, I don't actually know. And I don't actually know. But I'm awfully suspicious, don't you think? Good morning, IQ. Oh, hey, we forgot to pull this up. I knew I was forgetting something. I knew I was forgetting something. A little hot in here this morning. My AC needs to turn on. Good morning, IQ. Good morning, Uzi. Well, I thought maybe that was going to be a buy. And they came down. There wasn't a whole lot of interest. And then we got shoved back up to 30.5, which makes me slightly suspicious. Is he dead? Oh, he is dead. Well, no, 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 no. So here's my favorite conspiracy theory. Well, wait. Let me make sure I reiterate the facts of which I know. Jeffrey Epstein is dead. He was in prison at the time. He was not in solitary confinement, although he probably should have been. But he was still under watch. But there was nobody watching him at this specific time. He hung himself, supposedly, and they're calling it a suicide. So he's dead, supposedly. But the reason I say supposedly is because my favorite conspiracy theory about all of this is that he actually went into the witness protection program and the police faked his death. That one's my favorite. I don't think that it works that way, but who knows? But yeah, the whole thing is pretty wild, I think. I just can't for the life of me figure out. Well, they're still buying it. I think I'm going to regret not buying it later, but it's not really my spot, so Epstein equals third building? What does that mean? Anyways, I was just gonna say I just can't for the life of me imagine how you could be like, we have this guy. He tried to commit suicide. He's like one of the biggest uh, inmates, probably the biggest inmate you're ever going to have, and you don't watch him or you're negligent. It seems like the prison was negligent, is what it seems like to me. And the other thing is that he was like. Supposedly, this one's unconfirmed, but I saw some people on Reddit saying that he was going to great lengths to tell everybody that he was not suicidal. But maybe that was just so that they would take him off suicide watch so that he could kill himself. I don't know. Oh, it equals 9/11. I gotcha. I gotcha. You're talking about there's that other building that was part of the World Trade Center, that the third building that people claim there's no way that it should have fallen, and that when you watch it collapse that there's clear evidence of explosions and so forth. I Famous Dr. Baden from New York called in to review the actual autopsy. Really? Well, I don't know if that's going to tell us much, because I think that it's going to come in and it's going to show us that he hung himself. Possibly. I don't know. So this right here, my little cumulative thing, something that I've been doing is I have, like, this is all orders. And I noticed that those other columns, that I had all stacks and all pulls, and I had it for like only bids and only offers were what those two columns were. And he said, well, it seems like the number of orders that you put on and the number of orders that get pulled off are very close to similar. So what would happen if we just tracked the stacking and pulling for the bid and the ask? So that's where I got two lines there. You can't really tell, but I got a blue and a red line to show me them adding and pulling off. And I couldn't really test it because the market was closed when I wrote it, but it seems to be working for right now. So I don't know. We're just going to go with it, that it does something. I might need to double check my code and make sure that it's working the way that I believe it is. But it's interesting to me. Based on that, you had a bunch of people stacking right there, and then they took their orders off. That's what it looks like is happening. They put them on, they took them off. Put them on, they took them off. And the bids and asks are tracking pretty close. All right, what's Shallian here? All the billionaires showing up to kill Epstein at the same time. And it's the picture of Spider-Man. That's hilarious. That's great, dude. Thank you for that one. Oh man, I have all this stuff pulled up for about corn futures. So I got asked. Well, there was this question on the I think it was the futures trading subreddit, and they were like, okay, so like if you buy, there's still like a maximum loss, right? Your losses aren't unlimited because the asset can go to zero. And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, technically that's correct. And so then the person did some math. They're like, so if you know I'm buying 100 bushels of corn for like $5 or something like that, then my maximum loss is $500. And I'm like, and I just thought it was kind of I'm not mocking the person, but I thought it was a funny question because obviously the guy is new, but it's like, okay, yeah, except for that corn, contracts are 5,000 bushels of corn and they're running for like 8 bushels of corn right now. So your maximum loss on one contract is really more like $20,000. and I told him, and then he didn't make any more responses. I think he felt kind of silly. I hope I didn't make him feel silly or like scare him away from futures, but fun little story there for you guys. He was trying to figure out what his maximum loss was on an event that will never happen because you're probably not trading that much margin. Okay, so it is back at a spot and it is telling me that I might go in here. Okay. We shall see. Does appear to be holding that offer. It's kind of interesting. Okay. So normally the 5 year is very much in charge, but at the moment, it doesn't seem like that way. The 10 year ticked up first, at least. Well, there you go. Well, I'm happy so far. Are they gonna squeeze them? Okay, they've added some on the bid at zeros. Okay. That was a good bid right there. So we're gonna have to watch this spot because I don't know if they're gonna make it out this time. I sure hope they do though. At 30 year is still got a tick to go. Looks like somebody's stopping it there at 8. They're afraid to hit it. Yeah, that doesn't look particularly promising, but let's just I think given the location, I think I can afford to be patient here. Just tighten this up a little bit. No, just leave it. I'm always like a little hesitant to like move these because I'm like, oh, they're watching. I'm gonna move it. And then you're gonna be like, oh, I could get it down there. Let's pull it down there and stop him out first. I guess we need this up. There we go. Oh, that's right. The economic calendar is empty. New to the chat here, question on your pull stack indicator. You mentioned how many levels of depth do you look at for that? Good question. So I have it set up so that I can change which ones I look at. You see I have a minimum level filter and a maximum level filter, but I have nothing in them. So it's looking at everything, even the spoofs like, 32 ticks out or whatever. Okay, so now at 30.5, there's a little bit of iceberging. So I don't particularly like this because I think that, I had my signal and I got my unraveling, and there was only 2 ticks in it. And I wish that I would have been able to take a 1, but and maybe be trying to get 130 again, especially now that 15, sorry, that 0.5 is kind of starting to stack up. D-Feature says, thank you, no problem. That's what we're here for, folks. Because I'm not like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like some amazing trader or anything like that. But I think that for your new trader, I don't think that there's anywhere else out there that's going to get you going faster than what we've got right now. So, because it's a lot of information to take in, and it's really great to just have somebody you can just ask a question, See, they kind of look like they all want to trade up, but look, they're not hitting it. I always look here at the 30 year, and I'm like, 49 contracts, that should be easy. Just buy it. Yeah, great trade, but the pop was thin, exactly. See, and now it looks like they're going to try and squeeze us the other way. Oh, maybe not. What's with this? Why is that 005 pulling like that? The 0.5 pulling like that, like stacking and pulling 500 off of it. It's a little odd. Basically, you get offers or pulling. Chinese banks no longer trust one another as repo rates skyrocket. From Zero Hedge. Sacramucci strikes back. Trump's divisive rhetoric is damaging the fabric of society. The Sacramucci thing is kind of interesting because he was not in for very long. And they obviously were not happy with the job that he did. Ooh, that's interesting. Is this a zipper? No. This is looking like a chop zone to me so far. It may consolidate into a zipper though right at 30. We shall see. At this point, it's looking like they're likely to do that because somebody doesn't want to let it go past this 0.5. Anyways, he wasn't in for very long, and then Donald Trump was right. He totally, like, after he was fired, he's like all on cable news and everything trying to promote himself. And now, of course, what does he do? He's attacking Donald Trump, like, which seems to me to be really dumb. And here's why I think that that's really dumb. The only reason that this guy is famous and is even on television is because of Donald Trump, and potentially because Donald Trump fans would want to hear him, and maybe he could be like a cheerleader or something like that. But no, he wants to go. If you want to go and be like the voice against the president, there's like 100 people out there that'll do that. And then as soon as Donald Trump is gone, you're a nobody. So based off of that, I think it was a good thing that Donald Trump got rid of him as this press advisor, huh? Because I don't think he's doing the right, I don't think he's too good at it. I wonder who is moving the ES during the London session. I mean, today it dropped like 36 points since the London Open, and the US Open sometimes reverses the whole pre-session move. Do you think the guys try to close their positions before the regular Open? That is a really excellent question. And I think, well, so one thing is that I think one of the big players that that we're probably seeing and that I'm trying to pay attention to is Asian traders, right? So that's one of the reasons why we like to watch the 6J, right? Because that gives us an idea of are large institutions moving money between Japanese and US assets, right? And I think that that's probably a lot of it. I think that there are certainly some people that take their trades off before the E-mini opens, but I don't think that really happens until after the top of the hour. Because, like we'll take that trade at the top of the hour and we'll often get a move and then we'll try and get out before the E-mini moves or before the E-mini opens. So I don't think, at least, but I mean, there's no way for me to really know, and it would be interesting if we could think of some statistical measures that could potentially show us. But I don't think that we're having action based on people trying to close before the E-mini opens right now, at least. And the other thing is that I know something that I do know is that people totally come in and take trades before the E-mini moves in anticipation of what they're going to do on the open. So, for instance, something that you might see sometimes is you might see a strong move in the Treasuries. Like maybe we see a really strong move after 7 o'clock here in CN. You get a good move up, and then you wait and you watch the E-mini, and then the E-mini opens and they sell it hard immediately on the open. Well, then you know that move in the Treasuries was the hedge funds hedging themselves in anticipation of selling the E-mini short on the open. That certainly happens. I've seen that before. Haven't noticed it in a while, at least, though. Okay, so the ZB did make a new swing high that time. The 10-year did not. The 5-year did, the 10-year didn't. So the 10-year is being held back. One thing I'm noticing is that we didn't get many ticks when we came back down. And I am getting ticks when it's moving back up. But the ticks that I'm getting as it moves back up are not necessarily helpful ones. Like there was a bunch of moves from the asks like way far out, and then somebody stuck some 500 or so at 0.5. Okay, the E-minis sold a little bit there. Uzi says that's going to happen to a lot of people when Trump's been done being president. Yeah. Well, one of the things that I always find amusing is people getting all uppity about people not staying in the administration for very long. Like, it's a valid criticism, but he's kind of famous for firing people, so you would kind of expect it. Like people kind of wanted him to be president because he was going to fire people, right? I have $100 in Euros, how do I invest them in BTC? Well, I think I'm in the US, so I'm probably the wrong guy to ask, dude. But my recollection is, or at least the last time that I checked, Kraken was the most popular European exchange. So that might be one place to look. I'm personally, well, we haven't even pulled up our Bitcoin chart this morning yet. Oh boy. I'm personally just not terribly impressed with Bitcoin action as of late. We've been overbought for a very, very long time, and we keep getting these gappy moves that look like whales exiting to me. And I'm concerned that we might have another really strong push down. And I personally, my strategy is I have a little indicator I posted on the Patreon. If you go to the Patreon link, and when my indicator at the Patreon reaches the lower end of the bands at 50, then I think about buying. And right now we're like at 120, so we're not even close, to me at least, getting into the cryptocurrency market. So I don't want anybody to be like, oh yeah, Seth totally told me you should buy Bitcoin and here's how you do it and everything. But Kraken is one of the more popular exchanges in Europe. So there you go. Probably not the answer you wanted. Sorry, but your call, really, right? I shouldn't try and talk people into or out of trades, right? Because then if it does or doesn't happen, they just gonna blame me. Or just explaining what I'm doing. Because anytime that people come into Bitcoin, that's a good chance to advertise the Patreon, right? Ooh, okay, so that was an okay bid when they stepped up that time. And there's people trading into O2. I don't think that those 10 that went into O2 necessarily wanted to. So when I see a trade like that, those got to be stop orders. So how many retail traders do we actually have on the wrong side of this? 10, at least on that one. So then we have to ask ourselves the question, do we have enough action to continue pushing? Because if we continue pushing, I'm going to bet that if we trade into O2 half, there's going to be more than 10. Probably. Because there's got to be more than 10 contracts out there to be stopped out, right? But that could also say there's just not a lot of people in this market, and our potential to move here might not be that high. But we have been having action, so, or at least, overnight we had a pretty good move up overnight. So I'm going to say that there probably are more orders out there and that they're going to go for them. Let's see. So this little indicator right here where I look at the overall stacking and pulling and everything, kind of interesting, but it kind of seems to indicate that the interest in getting into this kind of dropped off there. But I don't know what this means because I haven't, this is the first day watching it, so. But that's my theory. That's my theory. Hey, Algo Lover, how's it going? Well, don't like that. Okay. On the weekly, ZV will take out 164. You think so, huh? Okay, Algo Lover says if sellers hold any bounce below 29.2350, then 28.83 target. Ooh, that's quite down there. A bit above 29.2350 before trading down would be bullish. Okay, well, we are below 29.23 right now. I guess he's saying that he posted that long before quite a while ago. So I guess he's saying we came down underneath of it. Yeah, I see. I mean, 29.23 is up there. Or was that, or are you saying that was what you said on Friday? Let's see how, if they may sustain their bid above 53, then 55 target. Where are we at in CL? 54. I gotcha. He's pointing out that some of the stuff they said on Friday is working out. Is that what I'm reading there correctly? Hmm. Hmm. Him, nim, 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 nim. Kind of odd. There's not interest in doing much of anything here at 0.5. Ooh. Somebody just stacked 1,000 there at 0.5. He stacked 1,000 at 0.5, but then when they hit him, he pulled it. That's not necessarily a good sign for us. A good bid like that is good, but it should continue through, and for them to come back down through it, that might have been somebody looking to shove and get filled. Well, let's see if they flip it here and push up again. Good morning, Ace. No, this is now Friday's done. Oh, okay. But your target is 28.83 right now on the E-mini, basically. Okay. Well, the E-mini is buying up a little bit here now. And the treasuries seem to be reacting to it. That 005 shouldn't be pulling like that. Well, there's an iceberg at it. That must be. I think maybe I should have taken the 2 there when that bid came at 0.5 and then they took it down. I could have just gotten out at 0.1 right then and there. Snap. They might actually flip here, but I'm going to get out. If I can. Shoot. If sellers hold their offer below 29.23. Yeah. Well, and that approach does seem to, I mean, it does seem to have a pretty good chance. Like, if the thing happens, then the chance of it actually going through, it seems like they do tend to do it. The thing that I'm missing for a trade, though, is the specific spot at which to take it. So I kind of would be suspecting. Oh, there you have it. I thought that they were going to go for it, and now they're not going to fill me, huh? He says that he's looking for a short. I kind of like it. I think I might try taking it with him. Okay. Doesn't look like already that I got the wrong spot. Oh, wait, did I get out of that? Okay. It let me out at -1. Oh, I'm already not liking it. Shoot. Okay. Give it a second. Man, that the Treasury really sold there. Maybe a buy here isn't right. Kind of gotta wonder. Okay. And they're gonna take it. Let's clear down. Okay, so they're hitting into 04. Okay. Meaning, well, Treasury is indicating that there might have been a pivot there. That's not a reliable anything. Just kind of it's a spot, but I'm not getting any kind of spike. But the reason I point that out is because they're probably ranging there because they're seeing that the E-mini is possibly turning. Okay, some clickies there. Pretty far out ones though. Darn it. Oh, that move up there was either really bad or the exact opposite. Something happened there. Certainly spooked me, huh? Yeah, that's no good right there. Shoot. Well, that sucks. He says too early. Kind of odd. I don't know. I think the trend is against us still. Like, I'm just looking at this over here. You know, it's moving up overall. Even though it's kind of questionable. I mean, it already came back. Treasury is ticking up there. Dang. That was probably a bad spot. I missed it already. And that might have just been the pullback. And yeah. Whoa. Okay. Well, I'm getting some ticks now. On the bid. Yeah. 31 and a half. So, um, it looks to me like somebody did buy it there in the treasuries, but they're fighting it a little bit now. Hmm. Put it back on the right screen. Okay. Well, that was a good little fall, but the last swing low that we had was at a 97. So don't know if that means that there's a ton more in this or if we're still in an upswing. They sure didn't like it when they took it though, did they? He says he tried to get in 04. He wants to push it down again, huh? Iceberg at 02 though. Ooh. Iceberg at 02 came back up. They went right back down for it and just smashed through it. Smashed through it, but there was still a lot of volume that traded around 02 and 0175. He says he's going to see it if we get it drop more, huh? So treasuries, they did turn a little bit there, but now they're doing the fishy business. So I'm in the treasuries, it kind of looks to me like it's still just too quiet. Ugh. So there's your counter move at least. They need to break back below 28.97. Well, they didn't. And they didn't do that, did they? I mean, we still. Oh, no, I didn't like that right there at all. That was. Shoot. All right, well. That's all I'm willing to try for on the E-mini there. I guess it just didn't work out. Ace did get a few points off of it, huh? I was thinking I should, it's 8. I should just take 8. Of course, now that I'm out, they're going to just plunge down there, aren't they? Yeah. I'll go over saying folks short in the hole down there, so the early move is above. Yeah. It really felt like that I could take one more, but I don't know. I don't have any reason other than that I really want to sell it for some reason. Well, and the E-mini isn't, the treasuries are in a spot, but anyways, it really felt like they were trying to push it and it went over the edge. Everybody went out, and then maybe, everybody just covered. I am getting something here in the treasuries. Shoot. I think I missed my spot and I should leave it alone. IQ says there's support at 0305. I'm wondering where's our. I never loaded the levels. Okay. We're still pretty far away from any kind of key level in the treasuries. Treasuries are starting to continue lower. That was not what I thought it was. Shorts are getting sweaty hands. They will need new sellers to help or else. It certainly feels to me like me looking for the short side. It certainly seems like something's wrong, huh? Like just the way the treasuries came back there, it looks like that the trend is down. You know, like you're barely getting anything buying back into this 31. And when it moves, there's sweeping up. Now on the split side, ES is having a hard time getting above 04. Now there's definitely some short momentum on that one. This one's not turning out what it should either. I thought I was seeing a spike, but it didn't come. No, I did see a spike. It's just not in the 10-year. Maybe like that. No. Okay. Well, you would like to see more than 100 bid. Okay, thank you. Hmm. There we go. Kind of want to go short in the E-mini again now. But I don't think that my risk reward here at 03 is super great. There was definitely some buying in the 5-year there. But it seems to me a little odd for it to be right there and go quiet again. So the 5-year must still be in a chop area. Nike says that he went long. You all right, you bro? Sick? Well, no, I think I'm okay. My eyes are just watering a lot for some reason. Maybe just different pollen in the air or something like that. I don't think that I have like crazy allergies, but like my eyes like water all the time now, so there must be something. I must be allergic to something. And I'm probably a little quiet because I really wanted those E-mini trades to work out, and I'm like really, you know, it seems to me like we're just having a hard time getting anything to really work. At least to go for more than what I'm looking for. That first trade that I had, it did go 3. Should keep in mind though that those buys that we saw, they could be only worth 3 for all we know. E-mini did not completely fall apart there now, and probably for this to go much further, it would need to see the E-mini fall apart. It's weird that my number gets all the way up to 8,000. There's more of a differential than I thought. Now E-mini's threatening again. Okay. There was no click on that uptick. Quite a few stop orders there, though, I think. Okay. IQ's already out at 10. Oh, wow, you got a pretty good swing there. So is the ZB, well, okay, I can see the knob spread is moving down, which means that it's going to move more on this way up. And then that would also mean that, yeah, it might be wise to be more on the cautious side over there. And even though the E-mini still looks bearish, I haven't broken yet, and I wouldn't necessarily expect them to if we've got 8 minutes to go before they open, you know? Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I was going to change the resolution. And we'll do that when I close things up so that we have that tomorrow. And then hopefully that should give us faster latency. So I'm thinking people, y'all might be a little bit more likely to chat if you know that you're going to get a faster answer instead of having to wait 15 seconds for it, you know? Man, I'm going to feel awfully left out if they go down for it. I'd say the treasuries seem awfully calm here, considering that the Yemeni is threatening, like, oh, I'm going to throw a fit, guys. If you don't do more easing, I'll throw a temper tantrum. There you go. I took it and it's quiet. Okay. Only 1.5 weeks to bonds roll. Oh, that's a good point, dude. And then we'll be on the September. No. We're on August right now. Then it's October, right? I don't particularly remember the... Well, I do know that things kind of come back in September. Things certainly change. And I know that it's better than the August contract, but... Oh, it is December. See this little chart down here. Doesn't necessarily do what I would have thought. Maybe if we get a real move, it'll show us something different. But I'm just noticing, people stack and pull orders, and it just kind of comes back down here. Almost as though down here is where the robots are. That's the robots, and everything else is just everybody else kind of shuffling around. Well, it gave us 6 to the upside. What I see in the 5 year seems to indicate that it should be able to continue a lot further than this, but 3 top in ZB 15 minutes. Oh, I see. You're talking to mark numbers or whatever. Oh, Donald Trump hasn't tweeted for 2 days? Okay. Some stops there at 1516. Whoa, what's going on? Those were spids were close. I tried to say showing up and it said hoeing up. $2 minutes to the open. I think they're going to sell. Rand Squawk tweeting China sending military forces to Hong Kong, current buildup near Shenzhen. Shenzhen is the city that is on the border between Hong Kong and mainland China. So it sounds like the Chinese are about to go in and it is going to go down. If they go in, they should go. I shouldn't say things like that. But I apologize. I shouldn't say things like that. But I just, man, if the Chinese come in with military forces and the people of Hong Kong don't do something, then they're just going to be part of China. So I'm just glad that I'm not in that situation to have to make that kind of a decision. I'm going to feel awfully left out if ES moves down, but I don't want to take a trade close to the E-mini. I could take one more over here. I wish, though, that I had just that first one and given up on it. Or taken the profit on the one that when it actually kind of went. Okay. So here's the open. Looks like selling on the open so far, at least. Didn't make it very far in cumulative delta, but they certainly pushed. $163 potential target. It's kind of interesting because it seems like everybody's feeling this morning is that we're going to have a move. Maybe that's just because the overnight was big, and so that kind of sets all of our edges to be saying that we're going to get more. Um, but so far, this market has just not been doing that. So they ticked up at 01 half. Okay. Now the E-mini is going. They're selling it a little harder that time. $19 contracts at 16, just a light kiss. You can see that 01 pulling. Yes. So what I see in the ES is that there was quite a bit of action on the open, but not a lot of cumulative delta, and the treasuries aren't pushing hard as of yet. They may yet do it because there was all that bidding back there. But so they're pushing it. They're going to make a new swing low. Okay, that time there was quite a bit more cumulative delta on it. And a strong downtick. Actually, 1,000 there, stacking and pulling it on 1/2. Interestingly enough, while it seems like there's been a ton of action here, there hasn't been nearly as much action as there was when ZF was down at 0.003. I think my brain is playing tricks on me here. Bitcoin traders looking at ARS volatility in stunned silence. I don't know what that means. Seems important though. Okay. The ask hold there. Agoliver says still valid. I would say with the amount of selling that we are seeing here in the E-mini, that if I had knew a good spot to take, we could just short it. I don't think I want to short it at the low of the day, but when I see something like that on the open, that's usually a good sign that they're going to continue all day. You know what I'm saying? Now, while I'm saying that, as it goes down 3 ticks. I would need a good spot, and I would need to see that the Treasury is saying that it's going to continue. Oh, good grief, there's 4 now. Okay. This is just a little too volatile for me too. She looks unhappy though. Well, now the treasuries are kind of saying that it could continue. In fact, I think I'm getting a continuation signal right here. I'll go level. The trouble with that is that it's still pretty whippy for an entry, yeah. Okay. Well, that makes me feel better that AC's the same thing there. Because I'm sitting here thinking, like, I should be short. Oh, no. Okay, they've definitely formed something there. Oh, man, really? Okay, I have to take this. Shoot. Because I thought that was a continuation and it didn't continue immediately. It's a potential reversal spot. We gotta get out. Come on. Okay. So my current thought, it seems like the E-mini is ticking around a lot. But I don't know, 10 points down, and they're almost back up when the open is up there, though. I don't know. Seems like that wasn't enough. At least I can't, like, when I sit down and I'm like, okay, if I see like a strong move on the open, there's a good chance that they're gonna trend. Well, we saw about 5,000 contracts, I want to say, down, and they made 10 points. I don't know if that's enough for me to say that it's going to trend all day or not. He says, I haven't seen a safe entry since. You know, and it often isn't like the first 15 minutes for them to really sort things out. So they may still be along. And the way that the treasuries were acting there kind of hinting that they're not so sure that they're going to get more. Because past days, you could see everybody doing exactly what I was doing last week, where they're all just getting in on the hopes that some risk event is just going to push us up. Now they don't seem to be doing that. Okay, so here's the sell again. Did you buy 31? Yes. Yes, it did. Was it 31? I don't think it was. I don't think I got 31. Yeah, I got 31 half. It was really the 5-year that tipped me off. I got it right here. See that? Right here when it was at 0.003. And this was at 31. And I did have an adverse tick, so I could have gotten in at 31, I guess. I thought that one was okay. Well, there you go. So I took 31 half to 01 half. I did too, only after waiting 10 minutes or so got tired and got out at +1. When was that? So one of the things that I'm kind of noticing, hold on. Nope, I guess not. Something that I'm noticing is that when we get like a big spike in cumulative delta like that, there's going to be a thing, right? Like you're going to get in at 31 and then all of a sudden it's going to tick up 2. And it's almost always at least 2 ticks, right? 2 to 3. And then sometimes you just have to take 3 and it doesn't go. Like that was the first one today, right? But then other times it's like a new trend. So like that one, I kind of look at it as like, okay, so we had a 7 tick swing down and then we had a reversal. What are the chances if we're at 31 half? So that's from the bottom, that's 2. Okay. So then we should get 4 to 5. Okay. So 005, for instance. That would be like what we should be able to get 2 ticks off of it, right? But then you could see after the 2 ticks, they just went whoop, 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 because there was stops there and stuff like that. So then when we got here and we got this one right here, then we said, okay, now we have to get out because that 7 tick swing might be it. So that's kind of the way that I think it works out. I'm thinking though, if I get in one and you don't get that like that 2 ticker thing, then I think it wasn't what you thought it was. Is my thinking right now. See, so now maybe the E-mini could go again. I'm just saying it doesn't look like it's not doing like end of the world stuff yet. It's a tough call because that sort of thing can be deceptive. Like, have you ever noticed you're looking at like a low and you're saying, are they going to move through the low or not? Sometimes they'll come down at it really, really, really quickly and then bounce off of it just as fast. And you're like, what the heck? They had so much momentum. Why didn't they go, right? So then you're thinking, okay, it comes down slowly and nobody takes it and they reverse. So then you get into that mode and you say, okay, this time they're a little tepid when they've come down here. So, are they going to go through or not? It seems like that isn't as good of an indication of if it's going to go through or not as I thought it would. So right now they're not panicking, but they could still do it. It just seems random to me. And it's definitely still way too volatile. Oh, I got out literally 1.5 seconds before those buyers came in. They filled my order while they swept 2 prices. That's when I knew I messed up. Yeah, I gotcha. That one might not necessarily be, a mistake. Unfortunate, but not necessarily a mistake. I can't say. Goldman CEO says recession odds still relatively low. So another way of looking at this in the meaning, if we look at my chart, is that 610 tick? Maybe I want this one right here. Oh, hey, it's actually doing what I want. See right here? I think the E-mini might be doing a reversal. If this reverses, then I think I might have found what I want. This reverses in the E-mini. Now I'm getting... Hmm. I'm going to try it. Okay. Hmm. Well, that was a good little run there, but they didn't make it through that other swing. The market is awesome about letting you know when you messed up. I think, personally, this is always like a lot of this is just like what I'm thinking, feeling right now, and I might not necessarily have statistics to back up, but I suspect that the case is that there's actually nothing about it, and that it's just that you notice when you mess up more. Make sense? Well, that's not too encouraging, is it? Oof. Should have taken the 10. Well, what does that turn that into? How do I edit the filters? Oh, it's not E, it's M. Yeah. That's my limit for the day. It's okay. It's not a lot, but makes me sad. So I think that they're going to buy it. Well, let's watch the treasuries here. Maybe they'll give us a sign here. Hmm. We are typically chasing up moves into a short setup and vice versa. Yeah. Well, I think in our case, today at least, for me, that it was really more chasing a move into a range, you know? And I had a really good long there, but it wasn't positioned in an efficient enough of a place. Is that the long? Yeah, that is it right there. Funny. Except for that if you chase that one, you're likely to be in the people getting squoze. I shouldn't have this over here. I'm sorry. Let's see, like that. They're squeezing them. And Treasury not giving me signals here where I thought I might see them. So that might be a continuation. Okay. I think that what I saw there was a long. Just maybe it didn't really go for much, you know? This is kind of weird because even though we're up, it's the treasuries don't seem too excited about it. Hmm. So what I'm seeing right here is another interest spike. They seem to be fighting quite a bit here, though. Cumulative delta is also kind of trending higher, a little bit higher through this whole little step down. Wow, somebody just bought 1,000 there at 28.95. That was some good long action. In reality, just one step out above, though. So they could, that could mean sellers are going to try and make another move down. Let's see what happens. Should have taken that. That's funny. Hmm. They've almost recovered the whole cumulative delta from the open. Treasuries. You gonna sell? Okay, something there. Thinking about that maybe. This. If they can make it just a little bit higher, they need to get above 2,900. would that be a bearish sign that cumulative delta recovered, but price hasn't really moved up? So no. And I say no because it's not necessarily an indication, a bearish or bearish indication. You can hear the sound shooting off of my water bottle there. No, when cumulative delta and price are not in line, that tells you that there's an imbalance. But so far, I haven't found any kind of edge that gives you a probabilistic, edge in determining which way it's going to go. But it does tend to say that if we, that when we come out of it, that we're going to go. So I kind of knew, okay, it looks like that there was people buying it down there, and that's why I got in. And I knew if they keep moving up, there's now enough cumulative delta short to really shoot it up here. Peter says it's kind of a dull market. It's kind of a bullish bias. 129.28 is where the level that he's looking at. Anyways, so but the thing was, as I was kind of reading that into context with another signal, so I said, okay, this thing says to me that it's a buy. So then I look at the delta and I can see, oh, they're buying it up. And sure enough, they beat out the longs. Now, it's still divergent, isn't it? Because they did not quite reach the open. Did we really get all the way to 01 there? That would have been a good spot to have possibly have taken it off. Because I don't necessarily want to sit through the pullback. Okay. They're trading a lot of contracts over here in the E-mini. Okay. Needs to break above that 2907 for a squeeze. Yeah. Interesting that the delta's still long, huh? It's continuing through. And yet sellers are still able to make some good pushes down. Man, I tell you what, I'm a little mad about that one. The question is, how do I, maybe I could have just had it as, at 30, take it off, but phew. This may, as of yet, may still turn around. But the E-mini or the Treasuries are doing something here. Hold up. JK, welcome back. Valid example of we're typically chasing up moves into a short setup. Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't chase that one. I got a good entry, but everybody else was chasing it, and I should have been getting out there, huh? Um, I guess when we didn't get above the open, that should have been a big clue to me. They're not breaking a new low yet, though. This may yet buy. You have to take the profit. I know that, but where? But where? Should have. I guess when it peaked there, I should have taken it off, huh? Instead of waiting for another swing. Just like over here, I don't like to wait for another swing. Well, I'm noticing that they're still buying it here. Why not just trail the stop? Yeah, I could do that too. Well, I could set up a trailing stop. Um, I don't know. I think the only way we can figure this out is just try a couple of things and then track the performance of them, huh? It seems to me like the traders all want to go short today. I'm just not so sure that the market is going to do that because, what was all that buying and they were able to get it to push up. Well, that's okay. I mean, I saw a good trade. Yeah, you kept moving it up, which with multiples would work, but with singles are difficult. Gotcha. Yeah. Um, well, it was like, oh, here's a big spike. I should move it up. I don't know. I like to see it spike and then it stop and then get it out, right? But I'm just not fast enough to do that in ES, am I? See all that volume trading there? 29, 28.94. So if we got this one, should we just do that? Or should we just do that? Well, I think that this will do more than that if it works out. Well, they're having trouble getting even the 5, and there's still a lot of volume trading here. And like almost every price. Hmm. So the 10 would have worked. Seems like based on the swings, though, that it should do more than that. Like, I really think that I'm going to get the 2,900. Okay, now we're getting some volume there. Shoot. Come on. Okay, well, at least that time I was able to see and identify when I wanted to get out. So that I think was the out, and now we're sitting waiting for another swing again. Or I could just take it off at 10. Suppose that it was holding 10 pretty well there for a while. Okay. Still kind of having trouble there at that spot. So that time I should have taken it again. I mean, I think some of these things that we've been saying, like, trail the stop and that sort of a thing, I think those are good suggestions and everything like that. But I think there's got to be more. By the way, this is telling me to go short here. So I'm just like on that one. Okay. It's having trouble at that price. So I should get out, but I think it's going to go for more. Oh, look, there it is. Okay, now we take it right there. Just right there, 28.97.50. What would that have been? 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So like 25, something like that. And there's more in it now. Actually, would have gone to the spot that I was looking at. I don't know, guys. Crap. It really sucks because I have something, or at least in that particular situation, I had something that I was definitely seeing things correctly, but I only have half of the formula, I only have half of the formula, and it's like, when do you take it off? Pretty interesting, isn't it? Now we're getting a spike in the 10-year as well. So here, that was where I took it off. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more in it. So I could have gotten the 20. Watch it go. Party without me. It's your trade, so take profit when you see fit, sure. But I guess the whole thing that I'm saying is that I'm trading this. I don't necessarily know enough about the behavior of the E-mini to have an edge in when to take profits. I have a hard enough time in the treasuries, you know? I can certainly see spots, like I can tell that 2900 is important. That was pretty obvious from the level 2 and the way that it was ticking the first time. What? Okay, so it given me a short signal and a continuation, and then somebody just shoved it up there. But now a 1/2 is going weak again. If this goes, come on. E-mini above the open should do it. Come on, there you go. Always your call, and that may change day to day or even trade to day, depending on your read of the markets for sure. Well, I mean, if we were talking the treasuries, then that's would totally be a valid answer, right? But I'm just saying when I look at treasuries, for instance, oh geez, okay, so that right there is bad. Okay. So when I look at my treasury trades, and I'll look at like what is the MFE versus the MAE and all of that sort of a thing, and for the most part, my my decisions end up being better than if I had just, had auto targets or things like that. Okay. Like I've done enough of a statistical analysis to I mean, obviously it's really hard to like perfectly say what it was going to do, but I've done enough of an analysis to say that I do better. But the E-mini, I really have no clue. you know? So I could be doing it for what I feel like, but the thing that seems to happen to me in the E-mini is I tend to be waiting for it to extend and it comes back. So, and then when I do give up on it, then it finally goes. So the question is either one, I can just take the 8 ticks all the time, or two, what is it that I got to see to know which one of those it is? Because that was absolutely the move. I got it the first time too, didn't I? Now, how many did it do? Oh, it went to 4, 6. That's 8. I think I should be looking for 16. I think. Well, the treasuries went higher there, and you could tell that some people were getting shoved around here. Yeah, the risk slash stop management plan, and the rest will take care of itself. Yeah, and I don't. I really don't have one in ES though. Well, I take that back. I mean, I kind of had a plan. It's just I'm not. It seemed like that one that I wasn't able to execute on it. Right? Remember where I was like, oh, that's it right there. Then it didn't fill me. Look at that. There's an iceberg at O2. Okay. Well, I thought that downtook looked good at first, but they were able to come back up a little bit. Kind of feels to me like the E-mini is holding a little bit of a risk premium despite the E-mini moving up. Oh, look, there's the high of the day. What do you know? Here's where we see who's who. You're right. It was, where did you say? Oh 07? Oh 07. I mean, so it's interesting that Algo Lover is looking for the squeeze at oh 07 because it feels to me like they've been getting squeezed this whole time. I think that in ZB we could come back to the open at oh 06. And that's like the next level below us that I see. That seems significant. Well, so they pushed over oh 07 for a bit. So my next question would be, at what point do you say that oh 07 held? Like, when you're generating that statistic, when do you, at what point do you say that it counted? You know, is it that it didn't touch it at all? If I was programming it, it would be if it touched it at all. Or maybe that the bar closed above it. Iceberg there, oh 05. You can push into the E-mini bull bear zone. I mean, this looks like this could just go in the E-mini. And yet, I have no clue if they're going to hold this. Like, the overnight open at 29.18. That just looks awfully juicy to me right now. Okay, well, they did. Treasuries did take a step back there. Jake says I was long but got stuck down. That sucks. It's so hard to hold a trade in the E-mini. I tell you what, when I was always looking at it, like which product to trade and everything, thing that everybody will always say is, man, when you catch a run in the E-mini, man, does it run. And you know what? They're right. But the thing that nobody ever tells you is how hard it is to hold something in that instrument. Even if you got a good price, it is super hard to hold it if you're trying to keep your risk low. This thing I think would be awesome for swinging. I mean, if I could have swung that thing, I totally would have bought it on that one. Let it come back, would have been totally patient and seen it come up and still be holding it to see at least 18, if not more. And just moving my stop up to break even, maybe, you know? But if you're trying to keep your risk low, it's, you get like $10 or whatever. Like, well, for MES, let's say that you get like $20 on there. I don't think that you can just afford to give that up. Hmm. Well, they came up, they've pulled back a little bit, and they appear to be calming down, but they've calmed down at more like 29.05, not 29.07. But I'm seeing something here again. So it appears to me that they are buying the pullback. And I can see lots of volume here too. DF Future says the NQ is even worse. Yeah. John's been trading the NQ, and he showed me his performance on NQ, and I was very impressed. He had got some good ones in that beast. Okay, they're going for '07 again. A little shy of it, huh? Whew. Iceberg. Good take. No, they held. Well, it's 8:30 now. So this looks like the one that you sit in forever and it never goes until you leave. Somebody's trying to buy it. I'm talking about the 10-year here. See that? Oh, okay. Cool. Let me add my filters here so that I can get one where. Oh, there we go. So what does that put me at today? Oh, hey, I actually made 2 ticks. Cool, cool, cool. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better. I'm just so mad that I missed my move. I was right. You know what? They always say, um, people like to be right and it's nice to be right. But in trading, I feel like that you feel the worst when you're right. So, when you're right and you miss it, that feels a lot worse than when you're wrong and it just goes, you know? It sucks. From a senior administration official, the United States continues to monitor the developments in Hong Kong. As the president has said, this is between Hong Kong and China with the understanding that they're looking for democracy, and I think most people want democracy. Yeah. So, and my father, he, because we're Mormons, and he did his mission to Hong Kong. So, you know, he lived there for 2 years, speaks Cantonese, and maybe that's why I seem to be so interested in what's going on over there. But I just feel incredibly upset over what's going on over there. That the Chinese government, it appears, is just going to bulldoze through the city with military um, machinery. And here the United States is like, well, this is between Hong Kong and China. Give me an effing break. You just gave China the green light to just come in there and kill people. That's, I mean, I'm probably saying something rash, and I apologize if in the future this turns out to be not so. But right now, just seeing that tweet makes me really upset. Oh, and here's Zero Hedge. Trump just gave Beijing a green light to restore order, which of course will help Trump's rate cut campaign. I can't even. If something happens in Hong Kong and the Chinese government cracks down and kills a bunch of people, it's on our heads. A whole Western world, because we could have done something about it. And we didn't. We just sit there and let the Chinese do whatever the fuck they want. I apologize. I know I'm going off, but that kind of pissed me off. So did we get? We did. I got another little uh, expansion telling us to take it off at 2905. Algo says, no problem, just one of thousands of trades. Move on, yeah. Well, I am really mad about it still, obviously, and I think it's just a psychological thing that the FOMO seems to get us more, you know, like the winners, we don't see the winners, and we're more, that's just human psychology because we're built to avoid starvation, you know. But the fact that I'm seeing something with the signal that I want now finally in the E-mini, and it just was a matter of setting my chart up right. That makes me incredibly happy. That that could be a big deal in the future. So I think that we should be happy with that. We made a little bit of progress. And let's hope that in the future we get it. But now that I've got that, I think that I need to take a step back and treat it sim a little bit again, and collect some stats on it in the E-mini. But so far, it's doing it. Anthony said something, but it doesn't show me what he said. The doctor? Where did it go? Live chat. Anthony says, I was right about Bitcoin in 2008, 2010, and 2012. Hey, Anthony, thank you very much for coming in. I don't know why it doesn't. I think that OBS doesn't know how to show those correctly. But Anthony always comes in and gives us the donations, and I really appreciate it. And I don't know, man. Bitcoin? Where is it? Come back, Bitcoin. There you are. It just doesn't look incredibly encouraging to me, that chart, you know? Like, you can't read too much from the chart per se, but I would just have to, well, about the future. Okay, we can't say too much about the future just looking at a chart. Okay? But when we look at the past action and what happened here, this looks to me like some crazy bull run here for who knows why. And then all of these spikes right here, those are whales. I think that they're taking profits there. This could totally just do the BART and fall back down, you know? But we'd have to go way back to like May before we start to get to like, you know, where it's supposed to be, where I would have thought it should be at least. Okay, so there's the BART. So there's that. And then if it fails that, then it's all the way down. The issue though is that with the way that Bitcoin moves, that whole thing could happen in a day. For, you know what I mean? Anyways, we'll see. I when we came out earlier in the year, I believe Anthony was saying that we were going to move lower. So we'll see. So Algo was changing his numbers up a bit. If we hold this above 28.9850, then squeeze will continue. 29.1150. If 28.9850 fails first, 98.50 below us. Yeah, like the thing that I'm still seeing is that there was clearly, when we came back to the overnight VWAP, they turned it. Anthony says, I hope so. So that means you hope that it moves lower for the year. So how much time do we got here? So let's just make sure that we generate our charts before I go off on some other bigger long rant. Okay. Since we had a rant about Hong Kong, now we can have a rant about Bitcoin here. Not too bad of a day for a Monday, at least. Yeah. And even in those e-mini trades, because we caught the one, we only lost 15. And really, with some adjustments, we could have been profitable in the e-mini. So I should keep an eye on that. But watch your JS tools to monitor my call. Oh, right. 29.9850. I don't know if, well, let's put an X there, huh? I might not be around long enough, but let's see. We should be looking at this one right here. Now we're on the right screen. There was a lot right there. I'm noticing, though, that I'm not getting an increase in orders and the treasuries are ticking higher. In fact, are they? Nope. This could all change very quickly, but at the moment, I think that they're going to fail that price. Okay, hold on a second. Let's post the Patreon here while this is going, and then I'll go into my little rant here. Something that I noticed in Bitcoin this weekend. Okay. Monday. Publish now. Did they touch it? They haven't even touched it yet. Okay. So at 98.50, they just kind of kissed it. Backing off a little bit there. Curious. Boom. So that was a failure. Is that what you wanted us to see? Or was that maybe a bad sign? Because when I see a move like that, my first thought is we're going to reverse. Sure enough, failed to hold. No. Okay, so let's just watch it. Obvious. I think that my read from that is that Algo Lover is not the only person that is looking at that edge, because when everybody had their stop there, my goodness. But I mean, it's still fighting it. Well, let's just yap for a little bit and we'll see what it does, okay? So the thing I was going to say that I was noticing in Bitcoin, there was this big, so Agos Lover says I'd anticipate lower. Okay, I kind of think so as well, but let's just watch it. So the thing that I was noticing in Bitcoin, there was this negative story out, I think Thursday or Friday, where somebody posted logs of the private Litecoin developer chat. And the basic gist of what we learned was that the Litecoin developers haven't done jack squat for like over 2 years or whatever it is, like since the 2017 bust. So they've been asking for like money to continue development and things like that. So people have basically been giving them money to live on, and they weren't doing anything with it. And somebody said, well, I'm not surprised because, they spent like 6 months trying to decide on a logo or something like that, So that was kind of interesting. And of course, all of the cryptocurrency skeptics very much jumped on that story. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of volume here, 28.97.50 now. But they all jumped on this story. But the thing that I thought that was most interesting was that the Bitcoin Cash guys were saying, look at this. We're working so hard. We are developing applications that work on our blockchain. Our blockchain developers have been doing a ton of work, and they've pushed out like multiple updates within that time frame and everything like that. And we push more transaction volume than Litecoin. And yet Litecoin is valued higher than Bitcoin Cash is. And there's like this very clear dichotomy here that the coins that are doing the best, like from a technology perspective, like they're seeing adoption and they're seeing development and they're improving and getting better, are not necessarily the ones that are getting the price. And I've always felt that, okay, there's clearly some tether messing around here. I kind of suspect that if that is the case, that the Bitcoin Core folks are like completely on board with it and possibly even encouraging it. And I've always noticed it seems really odd that they'll really pump Litecoin with the Tether too. You know what I'm saying? And then they obviously hate Bitcoin Cash, and so especially on this last run, they didn't put anything into Bitcoin Cash or Ethereum. So it felt to me like just another indication, and of course we already have a bias because of our indicators, so it could in the long run prove out to be wrong. But within the framework of our bias and our theory, that action makes complete sense, doesn't it? And if it's true, kind of makes me mad. I mean, honestly, if you are an advocate of cryptocurrencies, and I don't necessarily think that cryptocurrencies are going to overtake the dollar, but I do think that they're interesting technology that have a future. If you're, involved in cryptocurrencies in any way, that should make you mad, That should really make you mad. So this is kind of interesting. I can watch it for another like 5 minutes or so. But hanging in long, says Peter. That was a good move higher. The thing that I don't see is because the E-mini turned. Okay, so now that said, I am getting a buy here in the ES. Where is... Don't have it open. Oh well, I'll just take the picture. She's telling the birds wakey wakey, or the children wakey wakey. Now she really is like walking down the stairs and then they really get excited. That's hilarious. Oh man. Well, I don't know, guys. So, algo lover, do you still say lower? Because the thing that I'm wondering is just the fact that it pierced it and it pushed it through and everything like that. That is the signal that like it's going to continue lower. Is that what I'm reading? Because I got a little bit of a reversal there. And that doesn't mean that we're going to move higher for sure or anything like that. Just that, and then we've moved up a little bit and we're above that price level again. So what, to me at the moment, it looks like there was a key level and they did like a false breakout. And I could see it in the level too. That when we came back down here, there was tons of interest. Like there was the stop, but then people are buying it. And you can see it in the cumulative delta and you can see it in the icebergs. I don't know if that's a buy or not. Well, you know what? We should continue. We'll continue it in the comments and we'll look at it, right? And we'll see if we're above or below 29, 28, and 98.50. Crappy PA this AM RTH Euro trade was better. Yeah. It kind of, I would be careful about being too disappointed right now because I'm kind of seeing indications that you're getting Monday trade and that this could just explode at any second. Like you get news that China moved, or any kind of headline would just send this thing just like going crazy. Especially if we go down, because he says 28.98.50 is of no significance now. So then would we say the trade was short, didn't work out, back to no bias for you at least? So what I want to do, my goal here is in the E-mini. Spike, you buy. Okay. There was a buy. There was a buy. There was a sell. It's kind of a tepid sell. Down here again, buy, 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 buy. This may actually be the golden signal buy. I think that this, the overnight open is still a possibility. Now something is happening. That's interesting. So he did that at 03, 03 half, and 04. What did he do? He moved it to 03 half, then he moved it to 03 half to 04, and then he moved it from 04 half to 04.5. So he had it here, and he went, dun, 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 dun. I don't remember what happened when we saw that last time. But I remember something did. Well, I wish we could stay, but we gotta go. Okay. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. It was an okay day. A little disappointed, but still progress. So I will catch you guys later. In the meantime, no, wait. You gotta see my face. Stay profitable, friends.